I do not want this property. I am very confident that Jenelle feels the same way. I don't know what Cody's end game is here. Is he...
The sun dipped low over the rugged Arizona landscape, casting long shadows across the barren land of Coyote Pass. The air was thick with dust, and the scent of sagebrush lingered in the breeze. Jenelle Brown stood at the edge of the property, her boots sinking slightly into the dry earth. She had returned to this place, not out of nostalgia, but out of necessity. Her relationship with Cody had dissolved, and the shared dream of building a family compound on this land had crumbled with it. Yet, the property remained, a tangible reminder of promises made and broken. Jenelle had always been the pragmatic one, the peacemaker, the one who held the family together. But now, she found herself standing alone, grappling with the reality of what had been lost. Meri Brown approached from behind, her footsteps soft but deliberate. She had been a part of this journey too, though her path had diverged from Jenelle's in ways that were both subtle and profound. Their shared history was complicated, filled with unspoken tensions and unresolved conflicts. Yet, in this moment, they stood together, two women bound by circumstance and a shared history. "Meri," Jenelle greeted, her voice steady but carrying the weight of years. "Meri," Jenelle greeted, her voice steady but carrying the weight of years. Meri nodded, her expression unreadable. "It's strange, isn't it? How something that was supposed to bring us together has driven us apart." Jenelle glanced at her, her gaze softening. "We were never just wives, Meri. We were partners, sisters, friends. At least, that's what I thought." Meri sighed, a sound filled with years of unspoken words. "I thought so too. But somewhere along the way, we lost ourselves. And now, we're left with this." She gestured to the vast expanse of land before them. The property that had once held so much promise now seemed like a barren wasteland, mirroring the state of their relationships. Jenelle turned to face her, her eyes meeting Meri's. "So, what do we do now?" Meri hesitated, then spoke with a quiet determination. "We take control. We decide what happens next. Not Cody, not Robin, not anyone else. It's our turn." The decision was made. Jenelle and Meri would no longer be passive participants in the dissolution of their shared dream. They sought legal counsel, determined to secure their rightful shares of Coyote Pass. The process was arduous and emotionally taxing. Lawyers were consulted, documents were drafted, and negotiations ensued. Cody and Robin, who had assumed they would retain control over the property, were taken aback by the resolve of Jenelle and Meri. In a tense meeting, Cody tried to assert his authority. "This land was meant for all of us," he said, his tone defensive. "We all contributed." Jenelle met his gaze, her voice firm. "We did. But that doesn't mean you get to decide who gets what. We have rights here too." Meri added, "And we're not backing down." The legal wrangling continued for months, but Jenelle and Meri remained steadfast. They were no longer the women who had silently supported Cody's decisions. They were individuals reclaiming their autonomy. Amidst the legal battles, Jenelle and Meri found themselves reconnecting on a personal level. The shared experience of fighting for their rights brought them closer, allowing them to heal old wounds and rebuild their friendship. One evening, as they sat together on the porch of Meri's bed and breakfast in Utah, Jenelle spoke softly. "I never realized how much I missed this. Talking, laughing, just being." Meri smiled, her eyes reflecting a mixture of sadness and hope. "Me neither. It's been a long time since we were just us." They spent the evening reminiscing about the early days, the dreams they had shared, and the challenges they had faced. It was a bittersweet conversation, but it laid the foundation for a renewed bond. After months of negotiations and legal proceedings, a settlement was reached. Jenelle and Meri would receive their fair shares of Coyote Pass, allowing them to move forward with their lives. The resolution was not just a legal victory, it was a personal triumph. It symbolized their reclaiming of agency, their refusal to be sidelined any longer. As they stood together on the land that had once symbolized their shared dreams, Jenelle turned to Meri. "We did it," she said, her voice filled with pride. Meri nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek. "We did." They embraced, the weight of the journey lifting as they looked toward the future. With the property dispute behind them, Jenelle and Meri embarked on new chapters in their lives. Jenelle moved to North Carolina to be closer to her children and to start anew. She found peace in the quiet rhythms of farm life, surrounded by the love of her family. Meri continued to run her bed and breakfast in Utah, finding fulfillment in her work and the connections she made with guests. She also began to explore new relationships, opening her heart to the possibility of love once more. Though their paths had diverged, Jenelle and Meri remained in contact, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced together. They had learned that, even in the face of adversity, resilience and friendship could lead to new beginnings.